Once upon a time, in a village by the sea, there was a terrifying creature called Nian. Its scales shimmered like wet stone. Its claws were sharp as blades, and its roar echoed through the mountains. Nian lived deep in the ocean, sleeping for most of the year. But on the eve of the Lunar New Year, it awoke, hungry and fierce, ready to storm the land and devour whatever lay in its path. Each year, the villagers packed their belongings and fled to the mountains to escape Nian's wrath.
Hurry, May. We can't leave the rice behind.
A father urged his daughter as they prepared to leave one New Year's Eve.
But Baba, why does Nian come every year?
Little May asked, clutching her favorite red scarf.
It is a powerful beast,
He replied solemnly.
and no one knows how to stop it.
As the villagers rushed to leave, a weary traveler entered the village, his robes dusty and his steps slow.
Excuse me,
He called out.
could anyone spare some food or offer me shelter for the night?
Most villagers ignored him, preoccupied with their escape. But an elderly woman paused.
Come inside, my friend. I may not have much, but I can share what I have.
Inside her humble home, the old woman served the traveler a small bowl of dumplings.
You are kind.
The traveler said, his voice filled with gratitude.
Thank you.
Why aren't you leaving with the others?
I am too old to climb the mountains,
She replied with a chuckle.
but I trust that kindness and courage will protect me.
The traveler's eyes twinkled.
Then let me share a secret.
He said, leaning closer.
Nian is not invincible. It fears two things: loud noises and the color red.
The old woman's eyes widened.
Is that true?
She asked.
Yes.
He said.
If you trust me, we can face Nian together.
That night, while the rest of the village was dark, the old woman's house glowed with red lanterns. She hung red paper across her door and lit a string of firecrackers outside. The travelers stood ready with a drum, and together they waited. When Nian emerged from the sea, its glowing eyes scanned the village. Spotting the light, it growled, its sharp teeth glinting in the moonlight.
Come, beast.
The traveler muttered, gripping the drumsticks tightly. As Nian approached, the firecrackers exploded in a cacophony of sound, startling the beast. Roar! Nian bellowed, stepping back. Then it saw the red decorations and let out a terrified screech. The traveler beat the drum loudly, and the old woman waved her red scarf. Confused and scared, Nian turned tail and fled back to the ocean. The next morning, the villagers returned cautiously, expecting devastation. Instead, they found the old woman smiling, her house untouched.
How did you survive?
They asked in amazement. She told them about the traveler's secret.
Nian fears loud noises and the color red.
She said. From that day on, the villagers prepared for Nian's return every year. They stayed up late, lit firecrackers, hung red banners and lanterns, wore red clothing, and celebrated with music and laughter. One year, little May, now older, stood proudly with her family, banging a gong as firecrackers lit up the sky.
We're not afraid anymore, Baba.
She exclaimed.
Not at all, my brave girl.
Her father said, wrapping his arm around her shoulder. And, true to the traveler's word, Nian never returned. The villagers' preparations became a joyful tradition, passed down through generations, marking the start of the Chinese New Year. Even the fiercest challenges can be overcome with courage, knowledge, and unity. Kindness, like the old woman's generosity, can turn the tide of fear and lead to strength and celebration. Long ago, in a time when the sky seemed closer and the mountains taller, people struggled to remember which year they were born in. Without a proper way to track time, they often forgot their ages. Watching this from the heavens, the Jade Emperor decided to help.
I'll make it simple.
He thought, sitting on his golden throne.
People will name the years after animals, not numbers. Easy to remember and meaningful too.
The Jade Emperor called for the Earth God and instructed him to announce a grand competition.
We'll hold a race across the river. The first 12 animals to reach the finish line will each have a year named after them. Go spread the word.
Excitement buzzed through the animal kingdom. The announcement spread like wildfire, reaching every corner of the land. Animals big and small gathered to discuss the news. At a quiet pond, the mouse and the cat, who were the best of friends at the time, sat discussing the race. The mouse scratched his whiskers nervously.
We're so tiny, and we can't swim. How will we ever cross the river?
The cat, ever clever, purred.
Let's team up with the ox. He's big and strong. If we guide him, he'll carry us across.
Together, they approached the ox. The gentle giant agreed, nodding slowly.
Climb onto my back, and I'll help you both.
On the day of the race, the air buzzed with energy. Animals lined up by the riverbank, each determined to secure their spot among the zodiac.
Ready, set, go!
The Earth God shouted. The mouse and cat quickly climbed onto the ox's back, gripping tightly as he waded into the river. However, as the race continued, a sly idea crept into the mouse's mind.
If I want to be first, I can't share the victory.
He thought. As the ox neared the riverbank, the mouse whispered to himself.
Sorry, friend.
With a swift flick of his tail, he pushed the sleeping cat into the water and scurried into the ox's ear.
Ox brother, we've arrived. Hurry!
The mouse squeaked. Oblivious, the ox charged forward. Just as his hoof touched the finish line, the mouse leapt out of his ear and landed ahead of him. The Jade Emperor clapped his hands.
Congratulations, little mouse. You are the first of the Zodiac. Ox, you've earned second place.
The ox, realizing what had happened, snorted angrily. His large eyes burned with fury as he glared at the mouse. Soon after, the tiger arrived, drenched but confident.
Surely I am first.
He roared.
No,
Said the Jade Emperor.
you are third.
Before anyone could respond, the graceful dragon swooped down from the sky.
I have returned from bringing rain to the South Sea.
The dragon announced, bowing deeply. The Jade Emperor smiled.
Such noble work. You shall be fifth.
Meanwhile, the rabbit had hopped across the river by bouncing on stones and floating logs. With a quick dash, he claimed fourth place. A sudden shriek startled everyone as the horse galloped toward the finish line. But just before he could cross, a snake slithered out from the grass, taking sixth place. The horse reared in surprise, forever remembering his fright. The goat, monkey, and rooster arrived together, having worked as a team. They had found a piece of driftwood and rowed their way across. The Jade Emperor praised their cooperation, giving them 8th, 9th, and 10th places. Finally, the dog bounded in, wagging his tail. For his tardiness, he was given 11th place. The animals waited for the 12th spot when, at last, the pig stumbled in, sweating and panting. He grunted. Despite his delay, the pig secured the final spot. When the race ended, the cat arrived, dripping wet and furious.
Where's my place?
he hissed. The Jade Emperor sighed.
You are the 13th, but only 12 spots were promised.
The cat turned to the mouse, his eyes blazing.
You betrayed me.
With a yowl, the cat pounced. The mouse squeaked in terror, scurrying under the Jade Emperor's throne. Though he escaped, the mouse lost his front teeth in the cat's swipe. From that day on, the mouse lived in fear of the cat, darting into holes at the slightest sight of his former friend. And so, the 12 animals became the Chinese Zodiac. The rat becomes a symbol of quick-witted, resourceful, versatile, kind. Ox becomes the symbol of diligent, dependable, strong, determined. Tiger becomes the symbol of brave, confident, competitive. Rabbit becomes the symbol of quiet, elegant, kind, responsible. Dragon becomes the symbol of confident, intelligent, enthusiastic. Snake becomes the symbol of enigmatic, intelligent, wise. Horse becomes the symbol of animated, active, energetic. Goat becomes the symbol of calm, gentle, sympathetic. Monkey becomes the symbol of sharp, smart, curiosity. Rooster becomes the symbol of observant, hardworking, courageous. Dog becomes the symbol of lovely, honest, prudent. Pig becomes the symbol of compassionate, generous, diligent. Every year since, people have celebrated these animals, each bringing their unique traits to the years they represent. And whenever you see a mouse fleeing from a cat, you'll know the tale behind their endless chase.